Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for invite our group to present in the ACIAR project in the object of developing sustainable solution to cassava disease in mainland Southeast Asia. Today, our group will present CMD Resistant Breeding activity from Kasetsart University and TTDI. At first, let me introduce our group, the cassava team from Kasetsart University and TTDI. Dr. Sarobol, he is a plant physiologist, and leading team is Dr. Chalermpol Phumichai, Dr. Piya Kittipadakul, and Dr. Pasajee Kongsil. And plant biology is Dr. Wanwisa Siriwan. And the head of Vichukit and seed multiplication, Dr. Wannasiri, Wannarat, and the director is the Professor Vichan Vichukit, and the chief of breeding program, Professor Chareinsuk Rojanaridpiched. As we know, the first report of the CMD outbreak in Southeast Asia, the first report from Rojanaridpiched province in Cambodia on 2015, and 2 years later, the report from Taiwan, Vietnam in 2018. The CMD outbreak in Southeast Asia is the Sri Lanka cassava mosaic disease. In Thailand, 2018 is the first report. The source of CMD resistance were introduced to Thailand on 2013, CME3 and C33. At that time, there are no reports about CMD in Southeast Asia. We don't focus on this because at that time no report. We made the crosses with make a crosses with the commercial variety. And this show the table of seed with some cross that we make a crosses with the commercial variety. At that time, we don't focus it on this project. And the progeny from each called. At that time, we don't have the method for screening which one is resistant or non-resistant. And we use SSR marker and 3 SNP marker from we would like to thank Cornell University and Next Generation Cassava project that we send some sample to identify by using SNP marker from the project to identify which one is resistant. This slide shows the 3 loci that we identify. And the result of the SNP marker can identify five lines from the crosses. 5 lines has the same genotype when comparing with TME3 and C33. We can select 5 lines that show the same genotype. And after that, when CMD spread in Thailand, we test it in the CMD field. This picture is CME3, not show the symptom of CMD, but CME3 show some symptom, or it shows severity in the CME3. And between 5 selected lines, just only one line, 179-4, not show the symptom in the first year, and the second year had shown some symptom of CMD. Year and disease incident. This table shows the 5 selected lines. First disease incident that we evaluated in the field. The first line shows the 100% of disease incident, and the second is to show 100% of disease incident. When comparing with the Huaibong 80 and TME3 and C30, not show the disease incident, but comparing with the when compare the yield, we found that resistant variety C30 and TME3 had the low yield when comparing with the commercial variety. And this slide shows 100, the line 139, that for the yield is 33 ton per hectare when compared with Huaibong 80. But the percentage of starch content, we use the specific PCR marker for identify SLCMV between the infected plant and not infected plant. We found that infected plant had the lower starch content than the not infected plant. And when compare the commercial variety and resistant variety from CS, this table is 9 months of the data of 2 years. This is the average of 2 years. C30 not show the symptom. It is 0% of disease incident. And commercial variety, the lowest is KU-50, 18.5%, and Huaibong 60, 25%. But TME3, it is not resistant. It shows 62.5% of disease incident. This column shows the yield of resistant and commercial variety. Resistant variety shows the lowest yield, 10.7 ton per hectare, when compared between the commercial variety. In this year, new cassava variety is named Huaibong 100. TTDI had a plan to release in this year, and this new variety had the record for 9 years, from 74 field trial and on 11 provinces. It had the highest yield when compared with the East Huaibong variety. It showed us 32.5 ton per hectare. When they plant in the fertile soil, it shows 67% of the yield ton per hectare. Starch content 24%. For the 2 years of the disease incident, it showed 55%. The plan of TTDI in this year, TTDI will distribute the stem to cassava factory. The cassava, after cassava factory get it, They will multiplication and distribute to contact farmer for either factory. In the cassava field trial, we can select some local variety that show resistance to CMD. In the breeding program for cassava CMD resistance, we have many resistance from seeds. We got it in E3 and C333, and we have a 5 AITA variety from AITA, and we have 32 CS cone from CS. It named CR and AR line, and we got a resistant seed from Hawaii, 1194 seedling, and now we have plan for genomic selection with CS. And this is the result of 5 variety from we get it from IITA. The four variety could adapt in the tissue culture lab. These four variety sent it first in the field, and we harvested on May 2021, and we planted with the tissue culture and found that 2205 had the highest yield, but it low percentage of starch content when compared between commercial variety Huaibong 90. Huaibong 90 had the higher percentage of starch content. GME B419 not good adapted in the tissue culture. It was sent to the field 6 years later, and this the picture that show the harvest on six months later on November 2021, and compare with the other of full IITL variety and commercial variety. We found that GME 419 is a good yield and good percentage of starch content when compared between the group of IITA. But when compared between the commercial variety, it's lower than percentage of lower than in the yield and percentage of starch content. In this year, there are a lot of rainy there are a lot of rainfall. In the last year, we found some problem of the percentage of root rot. This is a percentage of root rot in the field trial. 5 IITA variety have some problem with the percentage of root rot when compared between commercial varieties. And Dr. Wanwisa Siriwan, she used a specific ACIAR marker to identify CMD in the 5 IITA variety and C30T. In the latent infected plant, there is no PCR cannot detect. That means 5 IITA variety and C30T not show the latent of CMD. 32 CS clone that we get it from 2021. It's on the process of a tissue culture and the greenhouse process. We plan send it into the field on April in this year. The seeds from Hawaii. We got 3,765 seeds from Hawaii. It can germinate 32.2%, and we sent it 1,194 seedlings into the field last year. And this year on May 2022, we will harvest the yield and plant type. This slide shows the plant type of some Hawaii seedling. And this is the activity of KU and TTDI and Department of Agriculture. Dr. Vichan Vichukit provide the stem of TME3 and C30T and the 5 pallet of IITA variety to Rayong Field Crop Research Institute, the Department of Agriculture in 2020. And this is the meeting of CMD Resistant scheme. We use C30T and we delete TME3 and we use 5 IITA variety to make a cross with the commercial variety. At the first cross, and now we have 550 single row. We will select it on this year, and the second cross between IITA and C30T with the commercial variety. And now we planted about 7,000 seedlings in the field, and we have planned to harvest it in this year too. And this is the KU Invest Life project. It's doing by Dr. Piya Kittipadakul. His selfing is Rayong 1, Rayong 90, KU50 and Rayong 5. And now maybe in S2 or ST. If you need more information, please contact Dr. Piya Kittipadakul. And thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.